hoping it hits you in the head.
Welcome back to episode 2 of This Scene of Ours. My name is Abel Tavares. I'm with my co-host, Jeffrey Tavares. Jeffrey, what's up?
What's up?
How are you?
I'm good.
You good?
I'm good.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am good. Or I'm going to act.
Hurry
like
up,
I'm
man.
good.
I gotta go home.
Relax yourself. I'm good, but I'm not going to start that way. I'm going to start on a good mood, on a good note. All right, how's your week?
It was good.
Was it?
Yeah.
You excited to be back?
I'm excited to be back.
I don't feel it.
Well, we'll see, man. We'll see where this conversation goes.
All right, guys. So this is going to be episode 2 of our podcast. We are glad that you're back with us. Again, make sure you follow us on all our social media. We're going to put it here at the bottom of the screen. Jeff and I are very, very excited to bring this. We're going to start bringing guests in. If there's anybody you guys want to see on the podcast, please let us know. If there are any questions that you guys have, please feel free to comment on the bottom of the video or send us a DM, and we'll definitely make sure to get to your questions because I think that would be interesting. All right, so the last episode, we talked about the beginning, Genesis.
The beginning.
Illmatic.
We still gotta finish that story.
We got a lot of stories to
But
finish.
before that, what you got here? You got a beer here?
So last episode, we started with champagne because we were celebrating the inaugural episode. But this episode, every episode, we're going to try to change it and kind of bring something a little bit different to the table. So this was Jeff's choice today.
Was it? Was this my choice?
Yeah.
What you got there?
I wanted to pop some bottles of some bubbly because I'm a little bit I'm a little bougie. But Jeff,
Oh,
picked
this
week.
is my choice.
This is Jeff's choice. So
Okay.
what are we drinking today, Jeff?
Malta India.
Ooh, does it get more hicked out than this? Yo, listen, this is our childhood right here.
Yes.
This is Captain Crunch. This is this is Captain Crunch. Yo, look, back in the day, Jeff used to have a big ass bowl of Captain Crunch in the morning, right, with the milk, and we were drinking this all day, B.
Yeah. I
All
think
day.
this has like 0.05% alcohol. So at 6 years old, we were
Yo,
getting
we were
twisted
getting
off
twisted
of
off the
Malta.
Maltas, bro. What was the other Malta brand? There was Malta India and another one.
Malta Goya.
Malta Goya, yes. Wait, bro. You gotta toast, bro.
Tastes
Salud,
the
bro.
same. I haven't had one of these in years.
It does taste the same. I'm gonna put mine back in there because I want to keep mine cold.
A lot of sugar.
A lot of sugar,
Yes.
and it tastes like poverty.
Yes. It's Puerto Rican. It tastes like poverty. We used to pay like
this is-
50 cents for this.
Yo, listen. Let's keep it all the way 100. Back in the day, Jeff and I, we used to live off the quarter juices, Maltas, and Nutriments.
And
Because
Tropical Fantasy.
And Tropical Fantasy. Back in the day,
Yo.
if you know about that. That's what they were called. Tell me that's not what they were called.
I don't know if you should be able to, you should be talking like that, Abel.
Talking about what? No, you're right. I don't want to. I'm just saying that's what they were
Yes.
called back in the day. So
Quarter juices.
Yep.
And potato chips, 50 cents.
And wait,
you had a whole meal.
Wait. There was one thing. What else, Jeff? What was the
What?
staple for you? What else in that mix? What am I missing? Something very specific.
Snickers.
Snickers, bro, all day. Jeff's a Snickers man. So am I. Why wait? Yo, so I didn't get to ask you this in the first episode because we kind of caught up with the stories, and we kind of touched on shouting out so many people, and kind of just went down memory lane and reminisced over the last 20 and 21 years within our lovely industry. But I have a question, a salsa question for you.
What's that?
All right, I want to know, because you're a director and I'm not. Give me, what do you think? 5. Let's make it 5 because 1 is a little bit too broad, right? And 1 can be anything. But let's take 5 important things you think you need to have as a director to be successful. 5.
Okay. 5 things to be a successful director.
Here we go.
Number 1 is patience.
Paciencia.
You got to be patient.
Patience. Okay.
Number 2, you got to be willing to take chances.
Ooh, I like that one a lot. Right? You got to go for it. It's either all or nothing. I agree with that. Go ahead. That's 3.
Number 3, you got to care about people.
Okay.
And I'm going to be honest with you. If I could be honest,
Please.
I think that there's not enough of that.
What, caring about people?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that when I look down the line, sometimes it's a thankless position. I get
A
that.
director.
Yeah, because sometimes you go above and beyond,
Okay.
right? And you don't receive the recognition that you feel you deserve. However, this is what we sign up for. So if you're not in a position to sign up for that, then you shouldn't be a director,
Okay. I could see that.
right? Because sometimes you're gonna do things and you're not gonna get a return for it, and that's okay. You may get the return later,
Okay.
or you may not get the credit that you feel you deserve. And I feel like in our scene, I hear a lot of complaints about not getting the credit that they deserve,
Okay.
right? But that's part of the game, right?
Is that like a paying your dues thing, or is that just kind of the scene that we're in? This scene of ours.
You can't charge people for a service and then expect them to pat you on the back.
Because the paying is the patting on the back.
Correct.
10-4. Okay.
So if for example, right? Let's just say I have done choreography for people for competition. They've won. I haven't gotten credit for it. Doesn't matter. I charge them. They don't have to give me credit.
I get that.
And the thing is this. Watch this. Watch this. Give me a teacher that you went to school with that's impactful in your life.
In terms of what?
Anything. A teacher. Let's go back to school. Give me one teacher's name. Everybody has one. So give me one teacher that was impactful.
Mr. Schollmeyer.
Mr. Schollmeyer.
He was your teacher too.
He was. But he was impactful in your life. Why?
I think Mr. Schollmeyer was a very stern man. He was very, very
Very stern.
yeah.
But what'd
very-
you get at
Very
him?
much of commanding presence.
Commanding presence. But he was impactful. Like what was the impact that he left on your life?
I think it was that. It was like he was such a commanding presence. He wasn't a mean guy, but he was very stern in how he did things, and it was very.
He was very consistent.
very much so. Yeah.
Very consistent. And that left an impact on your life to this day.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say
Okay.
that.
So you had him for 1 year?
Something like that. Yeah.
All right. Well, you had maybe 14 years of math, right?
Yeah, pretty
So
much.
are you giving credit to every other math teacher that you ever had?
But that's the point where you're trying to make, right? That the individual is what's standing out.
And that's the thing that I feel is missing in our scene, because everybody wants credit. Hey, I taught this person, they should give me credit. Well, no, they should give you credit if you made a positive impact in their life, then maybe, and that's if they choose to do it.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that people have to go around and say, oh, my instructor did this, my instructor did that. No, you are paid to do a service. If I'm paid to teach you a basic and you feel closer to your next instructor, right, whether or not I give you a foundation and you don't want to give me credit, it doesn't matter. I charged you. You didn't come out of your free will to come out and just teach me because it's something that you wanted to do and I turned my back on you. And I think we have it twisted in that sense.
Okay. Fair enough.
Right?
Next.
I would say consistency is huge. I think that anybody that's been successful has been consistent.
Okay. One more.
One more. I would say pay attention to what's going on around you. That's the only way that you're going to stay up to date.
Situational awareness.
Situational awareness.
There we go. Another
Right.
police term.
So if the scene is passing you by, maybe you're not paying attention to what's going on and what's
Hey.
current.
There you have it. Thank you, Jeff, for those 5 tips. And I think he drives a great point with everything that he said, and I think this is a great opportunity for me to mention my daily Thomas Guerrero. But anyways, I digress. So in today's episode, what we're talking about today? We're talking about the events today.
Yes.
And for those of you that don't know, Jeffrey and I are the producers of the Tri-State Dance Fest. We're the producers and owners, and we're also the new owners of the New York International Salsa Congress. All right. Just for context, the Tri-State Dance Fest will be happening again in Stamford, Connecticut at the Hilton Hotel. It's going to be the last weekend in June. And of course, the New York Congress at the Marriott Marquis in Times Square, Labor Day weekend. Make sure you're there or be square. And I think people look at it like, oh, you guys should start doing events. And that's not the case.
No.
I think I have a recollection of the first real event that we've ever done. Do you remember it?
Well, I would say it was our first anniversary.
Incorrect.
Okay.
It was that party in Kojak's house. That was the first. So back in the day, what was it, like 1998?
Wait.
Because there was two.
There was two.
There was two. There
So
was
the first party in Kojak's house was 96.
Yeah, that one flopped a little bit.
It did.
Okay, it flopped.
So
We're gonna. All right. So those of you that don't know, our friend Kojak, he's gonna join the show.
Yeah.
And
I can't believe it.
He was very much a part of this salsa journey.
Yes.
He's from Puerto Rico, and he was very much influential on the musical part of like introducing us to the music. And he was there, like taking classes and with us kind of every step of the way. So we're definitely gonna have Kojak on. So the first party in '96 was a flop.
yeah, so Kojak set up a graduation party. Okay, and he's married now. Shout out to Yvette, but he had a girlfriend named Maria at the time.
Wait, no, that was '96.
That was 96.
But you didn't set that one up with him. He set that one up himself.
Yeah, but
He
I
flopped.
was part of it.
Oh, you were?
I was part of it.
Okay.
So
Nobody came.
nobody showed up to Kojak's party.
Yeah, they went to the other party.
And they went to Robert's party. I don't know who
Fuck
Robert.
Robert.
I don't know who Robert
Robert,
was.
I don't know where you at, but bro, for doing the same party.
I don't know who Robert was. But everybody went to Robert's party.
And yo, things haven't changed today. Like, yo, respect the party dates, bro.
You
Respect the dates.
He did it. And then Luis's best friend, Santiago, at the time, and
crazy.
his girlfriend Maria went to Robert's party.
Yo, it's wild.
So
Talk
Kojak,
about-
Kojak showed up to my house and he goes, yo, man, the party's canceled. Everybody went to the other party. And I said, nah, bro, we're going to have our own party.
Yep.
And we went and we stole some beer. That was the first time I ever had a beer.
I know.
We stole, like, it was, you remember they had those Budweiser, the little cans like this?
Yep.
We had one of those. And we had a party in his basement and it was just all dudes, me, Nelson.
All right, so that one flopped.
So that one flopped.
Talk about, the next one was 98.
The next one was 98.
And I remember we rented equipment from Victor down the street, right?
Victor down the street.
My memory was good. You want to know what record was
It was
huge?
April 18th, 1998.
Okay, you
'Cause
know
I have a really good memory.
Yeah, Jeff has elephant brain when it comes to stuff. He remembers dates and times like wild. I remember the Busta Rhymes on the Knight Rider beat was huge.
Fire.
Fire.
Fired up.
Yeah, so
So
that was the first event. Then
that was the first event.
There was another party for
Yes.
Kojak.
No, before that.
Loverly. Was it Loverly?
No, Pino. It was for Pino and Ainsley. Ainsley was coming back from DR, and it was Pino's birthday.
In September.
In September, we did it
That
at
was the
Kojak's
big-
house.
That was the big one. That
And
was
everybody came.
Yo, so
The whole school
the
came.
The whole hood came.
The whole hood.
All of Corona, Jackson Heights was at this party. I remember all the people being out in the street, and that was like the first time, like I seen some real hood shit just going on. It was like
Yes. It
people
was
just
true.
everywhere.
It's true.
And I do remember Ainsley showing up late because he came back from DR.
He was flying in,
Yeah.
and it was Juan Gabriel's birthday, and we actually did that party in 1999, and it was September 11th.
Yeah, shout out to Juan Gabriel. It was
It was
Juan Gabriel
9/11.
Is our cousin who passed away, who we love. So all the intro and stuff that you hear, that's all his music. So that's
All
kind
his
of our
music.
Way. Is how we pay homage.
And
to
I
him.
will talk about him.
We're gonna talk about him too.
Because 2016, when he passed, everything changed for us.
Yep.
So we'll have a conversation about that eventually.
eventually. But that was a huge party.
That was huge.
That was a big one. Then the next
Then
one,
the next one was Kojak's surprise.
Kojak surprise party. That one was on Junction. Again,
December.
and it was cold. I remember.
2001.
So you've been throwing events.
Yeah, I just didn't know it.
We don't. We. And you know
I didn't
what?
know. I didn't know I was doing events.
Yeah.
We did a party for him. We actually did a party for him and Valerie because Valerie's birthday, I believe, was the 13th. I haven't spoken to Valerie in years, but I believe her birthday was the 13th, and Lewis's birthday was the 16th.
Okay.
And what was special about that birthday was none of us wished him a happy birthday, and he's very sensitive.
Yeah. Wow. Kojak's super sensitive.
So
And
he was just moping around all week.
Like I can't. Like
You know,
whatever.
and he was really upset. And then that Saturday, we showed up to the hall,
Yeah.
and we surprised them.
Yeah.
And
he
we were
really
like, "Oh,
had-
you thought we forgot? We didn't forget. Whatever."
Yeah.
So it was good.
Okay. So
And then in 2002, we did a party for Lovely,
Lovely, and
which
he
he
got
never
hammered.
made it. He never made it.
Yep. He was drunk.
He was so drunk he never made it, and just stayed on the sidewalk the whole night.
Yeah.
And embarrassed me.
I remember that one. That
And
was
ruined
off
a
of
couple
Story-
opportunities for me, but we're not gonna talk about that.
That was off of Story Boulevard, right?
Story across the street from Airways.
I do remember that party. I remember something very specific
So
about
that-
that night, but
yeah.
I'm not gonna go into it. All right, so we don't have anything going on.
We
No,
don't
you
have-
have things in DC.
And then in DC, I was the president of
Dulce.
Dulce, Dominican Unites Latinos for Cultural Education.
Yep. Cool.
So I was the president of Dulce.
I think I was vice president of Dulce.
I don't think I hired you.
No, but I was afterwards.
Maybe when I was gone, but I would have never hired you.
Yeah. Shout
But
to
anyway,
Susana Briscoe.
Sana Briscoe.
Yeah.
Yes. So we did that.
You did the awards thing in DC.
So when I was a resident assistant, well, Eddie Martinez did it first.
Okay.
He did the Dorm Awards, the Dazzling Dorm Awards. That's when the MTV Awards was big.
Yeah.
And he did it, and I did my own version of it a couple years later.
Okay.
He did it like in 2001 or 2002, and I remember a big like fight broke out, and then they never did it again, and then I did it in 2006.
And we did our production.
We did it kind of fun. We did it in a funny way.
And we did our production in 07? No, 07.
05 we did the dorm. No, it was 06 also.
Was it 06?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're leading up, guys. Notice like
So
the
we
build
did
We did a salsa production.
we did a production in the talent show.
Yep. And yo, this is like many dancers. Like people don't realize this, but yo, we did everything that you guys are probably doing. We were
Yeah,
doing
we did the talent shows.
We did all like the fairs and festivals, and we paid all those dues. I know people don't really know that or realize it, but yo, when it boils down to it, is that yo, we did it all.
We did it all.
We did all
Correct.
like all the events that people don't want to do. We did it, and we did it with a smile. We always had a good time.
We did.
All right,
We had a lot of
legit.
fun. We felt like stars.
We did, yo. We
I
definitely.
felt like
did.
a bigger star then than now. Like
You
in
remember
terms
when
of-
Edwin fell?
in the concrete?
Yeah.
I have a video of that. Yeah.
Can we cut to that?
Yeah.
All right.
He was really mad at me.
He was
too.
pissed. Yeah.
He was
Edwin
really
doesn't
mad.
like that shit. He don't like. He can take jokes, but like not stuff like that. Takes it
Well,
very
we'll
serious.
embarrass him. It's fine.
We won't embarrass him. Okay, so I think an important point after that is, we did our we had the 15-year anniversary for SR, which was big because I remember us working really, really hard for that.
Right.
And then I remember we did our first anniversary.
We did.
That was the first big production thing that we did.
Yeah.
And we did it on 82nd Street in Northern Boulevard.
Yes.
What was the name of the restaurant?
Natives.
Natives. And Natives, they had a theater upstairs. And then they had like a little lounge area. So we
Yes.
had like,
and there was 300 seats
yeah,
in
bro.
the theater.
You remember there was no heat?
There was no heat, and I remember that on Thursday we had sold 30 tickets,
Yo.
and
tickets.
on Saturday
We sold out.
we
bro.
were completely sold out.
And we were
And we
stressed.
hired
Imagine the comedian from the Bronx. Who, for those of you guys, go look him up. Imagine the comedian. He's a genius. He's a freaking
We were like,
hilarious.
the show starts at 9, and he showed up at 11.
We had 300 people sitting there waiting for the show to start, and our host was nowhere to be found. I wanted to strangle him. I said, Jeff, I'm gonna fucking kill him when he gets here. And he showed up.
And he goes, yo, my bad, I found parking. He goes,
came with a cab.
don't worry. He goes, don't worry, I'm gonna kill it.
Yo,
and he
and
was
he-
on fire.
He was on fire.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was so good. Like it was absolutely perfect for our crowd. He was hilarious.
People were dying.
peeing their pants laughing.
It was really good.
Yeah, and I remember we did
Because I remember seeing it. He was referred to me by Dante Nero,
Yeah.
who has his own podcast with Godfrey.
Yeah, with
It's really
Godfrey.
dope. So Dante goes to me. He goes, "Yo, man, I got this guy. Imagine he's gonna be great for your crowd, bro. Like he's a silly dude, man. You're gonna like him." And I saw his videos, and I was like, he's okay, but no, but I think he had a chip on his shoulder because he knew how late he showed up, and he absolutely
killed it.
destroyed it. Yeah.
And you know what? At some point, we'll talk about the restaurant because I glossed over it. I think the restaurant's important to touch back on.
Yeah.
But after we did that, I remember we did the after party in like the little lounge area, and I remember it was good, but I remember it could have been better.
Yeah.
And I also remember going into Restaurant Depot, using the address from the restaurant to buy the syrup because we were going to use the handguns.
And we didn't
use none of that shit.
We spent a ton of money that we didn't spend.
So we've made the mistakes too, guys. We're going to talk about all the mistakes we've made over the years.
Let's buy the syrup to make the Coca-Cola. It'll be cheaper. And we left home with all these boxes.
All these boxes of syrup, like
we
assholes.
didn't touch it because we
didn't
didn't even know how to hook it up.
Yeah.
The bartenders were like, "You don't just have like cans of soda, or whatever." So yeah.
So stupid. All right, so we did that first anniversary.
Yeah.
That was
we also tried to get Dumb and Dumber suits.
We did get Dumb and Dumber suits.
But not quite though.
Not quite. We got them in white.
Yeah.
We got white suits, and I remember I got the joint with the ruffles coming down the center.
Yeah. We were
with
trying to get the
cummerbund.
orange and blue.
Yeah, but we couldn't get them.
couldn't
And me,
find
you, and Jeff, you and Edwin, we rented suits.
Yeah, we did.
For that. And
We
then
rented tuxedos.
the second year, right, we did it at the spot in Astoria,
Astoria.
right?
Yep.
That was a nice venue, and we did the Casino Royale theme.
Yeah, we had roulette tables.
Yeah, and that was the first year we learned about food and how you shouldn't have food at your event because that was a
very
nightmare. So guys, for those of you that are doing events, stay away from food. That was a huge flop.
When they portioned it, it finished like in 10 minutes.
Yo, people were hungry. We were like, yo, oh my God, that was a really, really. But yo, I do remember that we had a good time.
We did.
And another thing that we'll kind of touch.
And you did the Bruno Mars hairdo.
Yeah, I had straightened my hair out and I combed it to the side.
Yeah.
I was in shape and shit. I was fly, bro.
I don't know about that, but
Stop
I remember the hair.
I wore
remember.
Yo, I wore like a navy suit with a pink shirt.
Well, I had a blowout
and a
actually.
mascot.
I did have a blowout.
But you know
my
what?
hair was like this.
A few things to touch on, right? Number one, we had done Aventura already, right? We went to Aventura the first year and we had that beach party.
Yeah.
And then
we had done a
the
couple years
second
at
year,
Aventura.
And then I DJ'd at that anniversary at the end of it, and we got it turned up.
Yeah, and I missed it.
You did?
I did.
Why?
I was doing something in the back and I missed your whole set. And I heard it was good.
It was good. I remember Steven El Coronel was our DJ or something like that, right?
Don't remember. I honestly don't remember. That was 11 years ago.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then our third year anniversary,
We did the tribute to Thomas.
oh,
Stop saying that, man.
now I want the camera to look me in the eye just to see my seriousness, and I want you guys to feel my anger. Nah, him. What do you mean? Don't tell me. Don't tell me what to do, bro.
All right. Well, we did the tribute to him.
We did that. But we worked hard on that. That was kind of cool.
It was.
Which was a complete waste of our time.
It was.
Right? It was a complete waste of our time.
It was.
And then we did at the World's Fair.
That was the first time we went to the theater.
That was the first time. Yeah, that kind of became our home.
We had 450 people.
Yo, crazy, bro. Was that
Yep.
many?
Yeah. We had it held 450 people and we
Sold it out. Yeah, I remember the valet guys were really happy.
Yeah, they were. The valet guys.
The valet dudes were like, "Yo, when you coming back?" They made money that night.
They were.
We tipped those guys too really well. I remember I hit them off. I took care of each one of them, and they were like super ecstatic. And I remember the staff was like, "Yo, this is the most packed we've seen it since it's opened."
Yeah,
it was our event, so that was kind of cool. All right, so then we do the theater for a few years. I'm trying to think. Did we do anything else?
I think.
When did we start talking about doing a Congress?
So 2015, I was I guess that's a conversation for another day, but when I became the director of Santo Rico, I debuted Lejos at our anniversary that year.
Okay.
And then I debuted Soul Drummers at
Connecticut.
Connecticut Salsa Fest.
Yeah.
And
You remember that Sunday?
yeah.
What did we do that Sunday? Let's see if you remember.
What do you mean?
The Sunday that we after Connecticut when we came home, we were together that night. And what did we do?
The Sunday? No, Sunday was the show.
Or Monday. What did we do on Monday?
I don't remember.
We came home and we saw the Jay-Z concert.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it was at
Yeah.
Pier. It was like in Pier 14. And then Thomas called you and we got into a big fight with him.
I did. But going back, we had a really good night.
That was a good night. We had a good time.
We popped the crowd, and it was kind of the first time that people paid attention.
We
to,
closed. Yeah.
We didn't close.
We didn't?
No, Yamule closed. But
We got a standing
we had
ovation.
we had the best ovation that night.
Yeah, we got a
And
standing ovation.
it was important because it was kind of the first time that it happened, and I looked at you and I said, "Man, I would love to own this Congress," and you said, "Lewis would never let it go."
I probably did say something to that effect. Yeah. This was at the. It was at the Marriott.
It was at the Marriott. It was at the Marriott in 2015, and then in 2016 we did the orchestra. We did Leafy.
Yep, I do remember that.
And in 2016, Osmal didn't go. He went to Bachatu. And that's when we heard that in 2017, there was going to be a Congress in New York on Memorial Day weekend.
Yes.
Which we heard over there, it was Touch/BIG. It was,
Yes.
I think it was called New York Touch the first year.
Did
And
they
then-
do that? I don't remember.
Yeah, at the Sheridan.
Okay.
And Lou was panicking a bit. He was nervous about it. In 2017, it happened. I think 2018, it
moved.
became BIG, and it became just a BIG and Yamule production.
Yeah.
And then 2019, the same thing. And then following the 2019 event, he said, I want to sell.
That's right.
And that's when we jumped in, we purchased it, and COVID hit.
COVID hit. Yo, COVID, bro.
It's like, man, what a bad investment. So
Yo.
that was our first thought.
Yo, but it's crazy because I was kind of like, I remember like at the initial start of COVID, it was like we were hearing about it on the news, but I was like, it's not that big of a deal. And then I remember one day I was at work, and I remember it was like a beautiful day, and the radio just went crazy.
Well, I'll tell you this about COVID. I think, and eventually I guess I'll talk a little bit more about my company, but one thing people don't really know about me is that I didn't love to gig. I didn't love to travel. I think everybody gets into this to travel,
Yeah.
but I was over traveling 6 months into it in 2009.
Yeah.
So I wanted a gig for my team. And once I was in the gig, I always enjoyed it. But everything else that was associated with it, I didn't love it.
You mean, you're talking about the rehearsing or the actual going, like the leading up to the
Well,
gig or the
I
being
think-
at the gig?
I think people don't realize the stress that goes into gigging, right? So, for example, I had 2 gigs, 2 weekends in a row recently, and I haven't had that in a while. And they were local, right? But in the first gig, I forgot to pack socks. Right?
Rookie.
You don't think about that. Well, it's you're right. It's rookie because since I'm not gigging as much as I used to,
Yeah.
It's no longer second nature.
Yeah.
There was a time where it was like, yo, you knew what you needed to pack, and it was just like boom, boom, boom. But with the time off with COVID and all that, getting back into it, the stress of, grooming yourself, making sure that, you did laundry. What am I going to take? Do I have to dry clean this? My costume, my shoes, my socks. What am I going to wear to workshops? What am I going to wear Friday? What am I going to wear Saturday? What am I going to wear Sunday? Are there themes?
Childcare, which is
Childcare.
Yeah.
What am I doing with my dogs? So all of that, it plays in. You have to prepare for it. It's stressful, right? It weighs down on you. And when you're taking a plane, your body, you start taking a hit, all that. So for me, I got over it quick. Now, I like gigging for my dancers because when I get to give them opportunities, it makes it better for me.
Gotcha.
And, I like the people once I'm there, and I like usually the events while I'm there. But the before and after, it's kind of draining. So one thing people don't know, right? We all have the same goals. We all want to do the same thing. Hey, I'm starting a new company. I want a gig. I want to go all over Europe and do this and do that. And for me, it was more for my dancers. So I started writing to promoters. I'm like, hey, I want to come here, this and this and that. And some promoters were nice about it. Like, hey, I don't have budget right now, this, that, and the third. But other promoters were like, well, why should I bring you? Like,
Who?
huh?
Who said that?
A lot. Franco said that to me from Berlin.
Okay.
I have my own dancers. Why do I need you? And at first it's like, why? Well, I got a good routine. He was like, yeah, but I got a lot of dancers out here that have good routines.
Yeah.
So I
For those
say
of you that don't know, Franco does the
the
Berlin
Berlin
Salsa.
Salsa Congress, one of the
very
biggest
big on
congresses in the world, and it's fantastic.
Fantastic. We've been to it. It's a good congress.
And at the time I was offended, but I understand where Franco was coming from now more than ever. But I say all of that to say this. Once I figured out my niche, I started to get work and I started gigging more. So in 2019, I think I had 26 or 27 gigs, which anybody that knows about gigging, to say that you have 27 gigs a year is a lot.
Yeah. That's every 2 weeks.
Right. So in 2020, we went to Summit and we didn't do well. And I had 0 gigs lined up going into Summit. And we came out and we didn't win. So I was, we had 2 good numbers, but we didn't win. We were not well prepared, all that stuff. And I came back and I said, well, it looks like our run is done. And on the contrary, that week I got back, my phone didn't stop. Gigs. So Julie and I got booked to go to Hawaii.
Yeah.
And we went to Hawaii. We were in Honolulu. This was like the middle of February. And Stefan took us. Shout out to Stefan. And Stefan said, yo, I want to bring you out here. I want to bring you early. I want you to hang out the whole week and teach on the weekend, which I thought was very generous of him. And he didn't have to do that. But he did it. We went. Long story short, the last night we were there, we were in the infinity pool. And I pulled up my phone to count how many gigs we had. Now, mind you, it's the middle of February. So we already lost January. And we had 40 gigs lined up for the rest of the year.
COVID.
That was 2020.
Yeah. It's
And
the
then we
COVID
got
year.
home, and then
The world shut down.
a week later, the world shut down.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And and I remember telling Julie, I go, yo, how the hell am I going to handle 40 gigs for the rest of the year? Like, this is too much. Like, I'm not even looking forward to this. Like, I don't know why I took all of this work.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to say no to work.
No, I get you.
And we had 40 gigs lined up. It was crazy. And then the world shut down.
And we were supposed to do our congress that year, the first year.
We were supposed to do Tri-State.
The first year,
The first year.
2020,
And it got shut down. And
we lost everything.
we lost everything we invested and we didn't do it.
Yeah. So it's
So-
okay, though. Look, it's funny because we didn't really dwell on that. We didn't really, fight. We weren't really, upset. It was just kind of like,
No,
yo,
and
the
then-
world's in chaos.
And then 2021, I didn't want to do it. and they begged me to do it. They said, "We'll do it. You know, anything that you're supposed to commit to us, we'll waive it." And we said, "Yeah,"
And we were nervous.
and we did it.
And it's an interesting point. We had a reporter call us. Remember the reporter that kept on blowing up our phone? We had a reporter that was reaching out to us because she wanted to get comment because we were the first event that was happening in Stanford. And at the end of the day, we were kind of like, yo, is she trying to bash us? Is she going to like, are we like COVID deniers? Is she going to destroy her?
We asked her.
And she was calling, and I remember Jeff was like, yo, you know what? And he called her back, and he was like, look, man, are you gonna trash us? Because right now, like, we just can't take that. Like, so please be honest. Please be honest. And she was like, oh my God, no, this is the first event. I want to cover it. And I remember Jeff saying, yo, I'm gonna give you tickets for you and someone else so you guys can come hang out. And she was like, oh my God, that was so gracious. And then things started to look up. And then the night before the event,
was it Thursday? No, Friday, Wednesday. Yeah. The Wednesday for the event, I'm over here. So in this studio, it's like metal, the roof.
Yeah. It's like DR.
It's like DR.
If you've ever been to DR, this is like DR here.
So I'm teaching a class, and all of a sudden I hear whoosh. I'm like, yo, what is that sound? And somebody goes, it's raining.
It's God.
So I look outside. And it's pouring.
Yo, it's wild.
It's pouring. I finished my class. Julie calls me. She's like, yo, I'm stuck on the train. I'm stuck on the water. So I go, you're stuck on the water?
Yo, it's crazy.
She goes, have you seen your Instagram? And I look, and New York City was on the water.
New York City's on the water. Yo, just to give you context, I'm in Westchester, and we have to pick up the shirts from Long Island. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, you're like, yo, I can't pick from Brooklyn. I go, yo, I'm gonna go drive and pick up the shirts. Mm-hmm. And I remember Sam being like, yo, are you crazy? Have you looked outside? And I opened my door, and bro, it looked.
And he goes to me, I can't pick up the shirts, and I'm like, are you kidding me? It's rain.
Yo.
So you know, like, that's my first thought, like, it's rain.
So now I'm seeing Instagram, everybody's house is getting flooded. I'm like, oh my God.
I get out, I leave the studio.
Oh, wait. Remember that? You were on 95.
No, before that. I get out of here, and I put the GPS to see how long it's going to take me to get home. It usually takes me 35 minutes. And it says 2 hours and 45. Yeah. And I made the left, and I saw 95 was a parking lot, and it was completely standstill.
Yeah.
So I said, all right, well, I'm going local. So I go local, and then it goes from 2:45, and it says 45 minutes. I go, what the hell? So I get on 95.
Yo, and Jeff calls me.
And I'm driving on 95, and then all of a sudden I see an abandoned car, and I'm like, yo, this looks like The Walking Dead. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then standstill traffic, and I see cars floating on the water.
Yo, and Jeff and I are on the phone, and he goes to me, yo, the car's starting to take on water. And I go, Jeff, get out of there!
Yeah. So
luckily,
one of my dancers, Linda,
she had to get saved.
She had a rental.
Yeah.
And she got caught in the water. Her car starts floating. They had to rescue her.
Yeah, bro.
So it was all over. It took me about 3 hours to get home.
Yeah, Jeff gets.
And the next morning, he calls me.
No. That was that night. It was like 3 a.m. This is before we went to bed.
What? No. We went. I got home. I went to bed, and you called me in the morning. And you said, Abel goes, yo, Jeff, none of the workers are available. They're all canceled. All the workers to do the floor are all canceled. Yeah. And I started laughing, and he goes, well, at least you're in good spirits. And he goes, yo, what are we going to do? And I was like, we're going to put it down ourselves. What do you mean, what are we going to do? We don't have a choice.
Yeah.
And that's what we did.
And you know what, bro? I was nervous because I was like, nobody's coming, Jeff. And Jeff was like, I don't give a shit. I mean, you're going to sit down on this floor if it's just the two of us, and we're going to get drunk, and we're going to look at all the money we spent, and that's going to be that. And, like, thank God, bro. It was, like, a good turnout. Like,
it was decent. I mean, we lost money.
But, yo, bro.
But it was okay.
What we should have lost?
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, it wasn't
in the
bad.
grand scheme of it, it was like, bro, it was a drop in the bucket in what we lost. Like, yo, don't get me wrong, it hurt. But dude, what I thought no one was gonna show up. Yeah. I was like, people are.
The hotel said that the lobby was underwater. They told us that. The hotel told us, yo, we just like the lobby was underwater.
Yeah.
They told us. It was so bad that day. I've never seen anything like that.
And you know what? Like, it was
Actually, Hurricane Sandy was like that.
and we had the studio during Hurricane Sandy.
Yeah, we did.
So now, like,
So that was the first one, and then we did the first one on Labor Day weekend. We did the second one on the last weekend in June.
yeah, we did it on Labor Day weekend. We called New York to make sure it was cool with them.
We asked them permission.
We asked them permission. This is important because, like, these things don't really happen anymore. But we called New York and they were like, "Yo, we're not doing our event."
I said, "Are you doing it on Labor Day?"
Yeah.
And I said, I heard that you guys are not gonna do it. If you're not,
We're
I
gonna
would
do
ask
it.
permission to do it, and then the next year I'll go back to regular schedule.
Yes.
And Lou called back and he said, "You have the green light," and we did it.
Yeah. And the second year,
The second year was good, and then I think the third year was better.
yeah, definitely. And we're getting better. It keeps getting better.
Getting
So
better.
now we're at New York, right? We can finish up with New York. This is kind of where we're at. We got about, so how does New York happen? Because I wasn't with you when you got the call.
So New York was, again, end of 2022, I get a call one day and they go, "Hey, we're looking for a new talent manager. Are you interested?"
Yeah.
And, I didn't really know what was going on, but, I've always wanted to be a part of the New York Congress. It's always been my favorite Congress. So that, I looked at it as a great opportunity.
We spoke about it.
We spoke about it,
And I said,
I
"Yo, it's a
accepted.
good look."
I accepted.
Yes.
You
You didn't lobby for that job.
I did not lobby for that job. I don't care what anybody says. It doesn't matter to me what anybody says. It's the truth. And the owners will tell you this. They called me, and I accepted. I was honored to be asked. I don't know what happened with the previous person. And honestly, I don't care. That has to do with him and not with me. When I got called, I tried to reach out to him because he was, a colleague. He chose not to accept my calls, and and then afterwards he kind of like threw a shot at me, which I felt was uncalled for. But it doesn't matter. It is what it is. I get it. He was upset, and he said what he had to say, and I gave him that because I empathized with probably how he felt, considering his ties to David and all that. But I went in and I did the best that I could. I tried to be consistent. I tried to work with everybody in New York.
Yep.
I didn't agree with everything. I'll be honest with you. But I wasn't the owner, so if the owners were okay with it, I had to be okay with it. I think that we did the best we could with the circumstances, and with the hand we were dealt.
Okay.
And I think we always try to over deliver, which I think we did. And I think they appreciated that. And I think that when the event ended and they decided to part ways, they called me first. And when I say me, I mean us.
No, they called you.
They called me.
But you called me right after.
Right. And they said, "Look, we're looking to let go of the event. This is what we're looking for."
I was skeptical.
You were. I wanted it immediately. He didn't.
Yes. And I think that me being skeptical was more the conservative part, the conservative businessman in me.
Yeah.
Because my thing is like, well, why are they selling? Right? Because that was my first reaction.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a good sign that they want to sell.
Yeah.
And Jeff was like, well, we got to hear them out. We don't know.
I looked at it as a good opportunity.
I knew it was a good opportunity too.
Right. What I'm saying is, even the negatives, I looked at it as a good opportunity.
Okay.
And that's where we differed.
Yes.
So, we went back and forth. We negotiated, and it worked out. I think it'll work out for all of us.
I think so too. I think everybody's going to be happy at the end of it.
I think everybody's gonna be happy.
You know,
I think it's tough, man. Like I
It's a different animal.
it's a different animal. it's very different than doing an event in Connecticut. Obviously, New York has a lot more requirements.
Yep.
To be a success.
And it's the Mecca. It's the one. It's like playing for the Yankees or playing at the Garden. It's like you got to do it right because it's very easy to get wrong. And I'm excited about it because I don't know if we're gonna score a touchdown or we're gonna fumble at the goal line, but we're gonna find out in a few months.
We're gonna find out. There's really no other way.
There's really no other way, and we're excited about it.
We'll see what happens. I hope. If I could be honest,
sure.
I hope New York embraces us. I think that we've been here.
Yep, 41 years.
We've been doing it. We've
got some T on the J.
We got some T on the J here, and I would hope that the scene in New York embraces what it is that we're trying to do. I think that we'll try to address a lot of the complaints. I think some of the complaints are unfair.
I agree.
With the previous owners and with everything that's going on.
Listen, you can't make everybody happy.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, we're going to do our best. We're going to do what we can. And we're going to do it our way, more importantly, because that's the only way we know how. And, we've been doing things our way for quite some time and for better or for worse.
What's the goal?
What's the goal in terms of what?
In terms of the event.
Like what? Like what I want for the 25-year anniversary or?
No, what's the goal? Like, what's the goal? I have one goal.
Oh, to not sleep on the street is basically one of my goals.
No, my goal is to make this the best Congress in the world.
Yes. This is going to be the best. It's going to be the best Congress in the world for sure. Right, I have no doubt in that. And you know what? It's going to be that because it has been that. Right? It's very much Bret Hart. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. So, and I think that
I like the reference.
It's going to be exciting, and I think New York is going to dig what we're going to do. I think they're going to be down with it. I think they're going to be down with the cause. I think that we have a proven track record of doing good work. Right? If anything can say anything about us, or anyone can say anything about us, I think it's the fact that we do good work and we're going to continue to do good work. And like I said, it's either, Highway or the Long Island Expressway, but we're going to make sure that it's good because, at the end
it better be good.
It better be good.
I got
because,
kids to feed,
yeah,
bro.
word, and them dogs ain't feeding themselves. So, this is good, man. I'm glad we talked about this. I know there's so much more.
We have a lot more to talk.
But that's what makes this cool because, we're just hitting the brink of it. We're going to kind of stop right there because I feel like we kind of hit the cliff. And, we're at the arc of it, and there's so much more that we're going to touch on. And when we bring people on here, we're going to be able to have these discussions and share different stories and different experiences, especially about New York because, with respect, we were there the last year Choco did it. And we'll talk about
last year that David did it,
and we'll talk about what those experiences were like because they were definitely very, very vivid in our brains. So, man, good shit today, bro. I think you crushed it. You gave a lot of nice. You
did all right.
You gave a nice little tidbits.
You did okay.
Okay, guys, remember follow us on social media. This is gonna be Jeff at _Huracan. Mine's gonna be DJ Abel NYC. You can follow us at Latin Moves Dance. You can find us at Huracan Dance. All right, our events: Tri-State Dance Fest,
New York Salsa Congress
as well. And guys, again, if you have any questions that you want us to kind of address, this scene of ours, right? Make sure you send us a message. Send us a note or a comment letting us know what the question is. We'll definitely address it. If anybody that's interested in performing at our events, please make sure you reach out to our website, email us, let us know. We're trying to kind of make sure to facilitate a stage so everybody can go out there and do their thing and put their art out there on the forefront. We definitely want to do that, and we want to be a part of that. So please keep us in mind. Let us know. We're down for it. El Jefe, Jeffrey, thank you again. This was this episode 2. We got 2 in the books. We're all gonna have some guests. Hopefully, on the next episode, we can include the Magic Man himself, Edwin Tolentino,
the Mambo Engineer,
the
Chuck
the
Norris,
man of many,
the Chuck Norris of salsa.
Okay. And on that note, we're gonna peace out, guys. Again, thank you very much for being with us. We'll see you next time. Peace.
kind of hoping it hits you in the head.